Okay, the next question came from Mabuhay Maxima. Her question is, when do you stop chasing your dreams? You don't. You never stop chasing your dreams. If you have a dream in your life, you make it your mission to make it happen. You make it your mission to achieve your dream, to make your dream come true. Okay, it's okay. Like this. We're now recording. Yan. Okay. Hi, good morning, everyone. I think we should officially start this live session. Okay, hi. Hello, Janet. Anyways, I want to start off by saying that I'm really happy na nandito kayo lahat ngayon. Everyone who's clicked on the live session. Hi, welcome to every one of you. I'm so grateful na nandito kayo and joining me on this morning. Medyo nakakaba pala tong live session na to. Anyways, let's formally start this episode. Welcome to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. My name's Alec, and today we're going to do a different... can you hear me? O nga no, hindi ko man lang... Ayan, okay, you can hear me. Yes, hi Rusty Broxon, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. Anyways, today we are doing something special because this is the first ever episode that medyo hindi na katulad ng mga previous episodes on how I traditionally do the podcast. But this is the first episode that I'll be doing an AMA or an Ask Me Anything. And I'll be answering some questions that you guys sent me on IG. I asked you guys yesterday to send me some questions. And you sent me some questions, very interesting ones. So I'll dive into that. But first, before anything else, I hope that you're safe. I hope that you have enough food and medicine and resources to get through this crisis, to get through this crazy time. I really hope that you're safe and your families are safe as well. And that being said, hi Sab. Good morning, engineer. Sorry, bumibiyok ba ako? Okay. Anyways, nakakaba kasi. This is the first time that I'll be live. Usually the podcast, it's a pre-recorded session where I get to edit most of the parts na I sound ridiculous. Pero right now I'm doing live, so I don't know how. Okay, let's start answering some questions that you guys sent to me. Let's start with the easy questions first. First question. No pressure, pero okay, gets. Anyways, if you guys want to join me on the podcast, you can request to be a part of the live. I guess there's a feature right here. Hindi ko alam kung paano eh. Okay, so let's start with the questions. The first question comes from my online YouTube friend. His IG username is @EdrianPenguino. And he asks, madaming tanong, pero the first one is, do you ever plan to go back to YouTube? For those people who just started following me, I tried YouTube 2 years ago, but I stopped doing it. And to answer your question, YouTube's not out of the picture. I really love making videos. I really enjoy, seeing myself and creating memories on the screen. And nakakatuwa naman, ang dami niyong pumunta. I was expecting like 3 or 4 people to watch me on this episode, pero okay, anyways, I plan on going back to YouTube, pero YouTube's not a priority for me at this point kasi I really enjoy doing the podcast. And dito na pupunta yung energy ko ngayon. Editing videos, shooting videos, and thinking about concepts of the videos is very, very difficult for someone who's juggling these stuff. Pero it's not out of the picture. Eventually, I will start making videos again, probably after I graduate. So that's the first question. And okay, let's go on with the second question. What else? Getting to know each other muna. These are some of the light questions. A question coming from @basketballista. It's @_BS. No, basta basketballista pero walang mga vowels. That's his username. So you could... Hi Nina. Okay, kinakabahan ako. Ulit nga. Nakakatuwa naman, nandito kayo. Wala rin kayong magawa, no? Kasi ako, wala na rin akong maisip na gawin this quarantine season. And I really appreciate na nakikita ko na parehas pala tayo. At, ayun. Okay, next question. Yun nga, from @basketballista, @_basketballista. Who are the 3 players that made you love basketball? There are only one player who made me love basketball, and that's Kobe Bean Bryant. May he rest in peace. Pero when I was a kid, I was introduced to basketball by watching the Lakers play, because the Lakers were, I think, the first time I watched basketball was when 2000s or 1999s, mga ganon. And Kobe was playing. And you can see my mother on the background. Hi, Ma. Yun nga, I started watching basketball when I was a little kid, and my uncle introduced me. And the Lakers were always winning. And I thought to myself na if I'm going to choose a team in basketball, I would pick yung mga laging nananalo. So I picked the Lakers. And unfortunately, the Lakers have, sucked this past few years. Pero I've never lost confidence in them. I never lost my loyalty sa kanila. I really enjoyed watching them through all these years. And it's all because of Kobe Bean Bryant, his work ethic, his mindset to achieve all the goals na siniset niya sa buhay niya. Just absurd. So, thank you, Kobe Bean Bryant, for introducing me to basketball. A question just popped in. Just curious, do you earn from doing podcasts at Spotify? No, my podcast is not monetized. I don't know how to monetize it yet. I have a lot of options on how to do it, pero it's not my priority. I really enjoy just talking to you guys, giving you so much value, and sharing all my wisdom and knowledge sa inyo. So, yun muna yung priority ko. So yeah, to answer your question, no, it's not monetized yet, but soon it will be. Speaking of, I will be releasing the merch. This is probably the first way of how I could earn from the podcast. I will be releasing some merchandise, some t-shirts, some motivational, inspirational mindset t-shirts. I hope abangan nyo rin yan. Okay, next question. Oh, this one's nice. This question came from @after_9_2_5. She asked, given na nagkaroon ng lockdown and super tagal na nasa bahay, do you think that this is the time na reset lahat and you can start new goals, i.e. quit work? Well, I'm not advising you to quit work, pero with regard to ito yung time na mag-reset lahat, I think that's true. Kasi if you could look back sa history natin, we could see that the crisis na na-experience natin as human beings, ito yung nagpa-propel sa atin into moving into a better generation or better society. And always, if you could look at the successes from yung mga tinitingalan yung tao sa US, yung mga successful na tao sa US, makita mo na they all started when the economy got shitty. No, they came from the 2008 recession, they came from the World War stuff. Sa lahat ng may hirap na events, yun yung nagpropel sa kanila para maging successful nila sa buhay. So, I think that this crisis has a lot of upside. I know, I'm not disregarding the fact na a lot of people are struggling in their daily lives. Pero I really believe that there is a huge opportunity waiting after this crisis. Kasi hindi natin alam kung paano, mahirap, hindi natin alam kung paano, pero one way or another, malalagpasan natin to. And marami tayong matututunan sa crisis na nangyayari ngayon. And to answer your question, this is the perfect time to reset and set your goals. Kasi if you could look around, if you just take, a breather and look around, you'll see that everyone is struggling. Everyone's experiencing a very hard time. So there is nothing to lose if you're going to start new goals. If you want to have a reset in life, you have nothing to lose. This is the perfect time because everyone is having a soft reset sa buhay nila. May not be a total reset, pero a soft reset. May mga bagay na babaguhin, may mga bagay na mababago sa buhay nila. So partly, everyone's experiencing a soft reset. And if you want to have a reset in your life, you should probably do that, man. And especially you should set your goals. You should set your goals kasi moving forward, hindi natin alam kung anong pwedeng mangyari. But if we try to make a goal sa buhay natin, it may not be very particular, pero meron tayong gustong gawin after this pandemic. Kasi if there is a lesson na merong tinuro tong crisis na to, it's that we only get one shot at this life. Hindi natin alam kung kailan ulit darating yung araw na magkakaroon ng gantong klaseng crisis, na magkakaroon ng gantong klaseng pandemic. So if there's one thing na tinuturo to, it's we only get one shot at this life. So we need to use our chance wisely. Kailangan masulit natin to. And we can start that by setting goals. I hope you get that point. Again, hi everyone who is watching the live stream. For those people who are listening to the podcast, it may sound weird, but I am live on IG. So I really appreciate every single one who is watching the live right now. Yeah. Anyways, next is this question came from Franco Rulloda. And he asked, he also has a podcast. I think it's about health and wellness. You could go check that out. His IG username or IG handle is @Franco Rulloda. So you can go check that out. There are a lot of amazing podcasters here in the Philippines. Hindi lang ako, saka si Joyce Spring, joke lang. Hindi lang si Joyce Spring and yung mga sikat na kilala nyo. There are a lot of people who are giving valuable insights na hindi nga lang nakakuha ng ganun kadaming audience. And you should go check them out. There's a group called Podcast PH who kung saan there are a lot of Filipinos sharing their podcast there. You could join them para makita nyo rin kung ano yung mga Filipino podcast na available sa Spotify and sa Apple Podcasts. Anyways, he asked, how can we shift Filipinos' mindset of living in a band-aid society? Don't get me wrong, pero what I understood from the question is that how can we change the mindset of the Filipino from being a reactive type to probably a preventive type? Well, what I think is, sige, ano muna yung band-aid? Ano yung band-aid society? Kasi di ba yung band-aid, pag meron tayong sugat, typically nilalagyan ng band-aid. Pero if we misuse or overuse the band-aid, mas mapapagalan, mahinder nito yung pag-heal ng wound. Or sometimes the wound may get worse by, getting a more serious wound or magka-infection pa. 'Di ba? So, kasi sobrang deep na nung pinanggagalingan nung ganyang klaseng problem. So, I think na we should change the education system. First and foremost, yung education system na meron dito sa Pilipinas, dapat baguhin yan. Dahil magulo eh. And it only focuses on the short term. And probably dito sa generation natin, dito sa time natin, hindi na natin may experience yan, mabago yung mindset ng Filipino. Although I'm not losing hope. Probably magkaroon ng milagro, di ba? Pero just to be realistic, mahirap na baguhin yung mindset ng Filipino at this time. Pero there is hope for the future generations, for the, yung mga grandchildren natin and yung grandchildren ng grandchildren natin. There is hope there. And feeling ko doon, magkakaroon ng impact yung mga babaguhin natin ngayon. Pero we can only do that if we change our education system, because our education should be the foundation of, should be the backbone of our country. Kasi if you look at countries who are doing well, coping up with this crisis, it's the people who have prepared themselves for a very long time. And apparently hindi tayo prepared. So what I could change is baguhin muna yung educational system, and maybe there you could start progressing para magkaroon ng better solutions in case of these kinds of crisis. Franco, thank you for sending me your question. Again, if you have any questions, you can send me your questions right here, or you can even join me on the podcast. You could request to be a part of the podcast. I'll be happy to accept that. I'll be, very much appreciative na you could join me on this podcast. Para naman hindi ako lang yung nagsasalita dito. Okay, let's head on to the next question. Okay, here's a very personal question and a very political question. What's your opinion regarding the animosity between the DDS and the anti-DDS? The question came from Kwentuhan Sessions. Again, this is a podcast that I met dun sa Podcast PH group. Again, his question is, what's your opinion regarding the animosity between the DDS and the anti-DDS? Okay, so what I think about it, it's not that it's kind of animosity. It's bloody, it's messy, pero I think it's absolutely necessary for us to have these kinds of uproars or these kinds of, paano ba to, yung gantong klaseng panggugulo or ano mo yun, pag-express. Kasi I have, DDS friends, tapos ang sinasabi nila is dapat di na tayo nagrereklamo, ganyan-ganyan. And that's where the conflict starts for me. Kasi I don't care if you don't care about politics. I don't care if you don't give a shit for most of the year. You don't give a shit about politics for how the government is doing. Pero right now we are in the middle of a crisis. And when we are in the middle of crisis, this is this is a very important time for us to have responsible lead. And the anti-DDS, they are not getting mad at the government just because they just want to get mad. They're calling out the government because they need accountability. And I can totally speak for a lot of people because I know that there are a lot of people struggling to put food on their tables right now. And this is the time that we need a competent government. And yung ginagawa ng anti-DDS, regardless kung anong side mo, kung DDS ka or anti-DDS ka, but the fact that you are calling out the government for having accountability sa pagtulong sa mga mamamayan niya, then I applaud you. I don't think that it's animosity. I don't think it's, kind of a bad thing. I just think that it's very necessary for us kasi the more we, make some noise, the more they'll be open to listening us. Kasi wala naman tayong access sa kung paano natin sila kakausapin, kung paano tayo magkakaroon ng connection sa kanila. So, having these kinds of discussion, having these kinds of trending, wild and bloody discussions is one of the way that we can get their attention. So, that's what I think about it. Okay. Next question is from ratedi.podcast. And this is a podcast where she interviews influencers on how they live their daily lives, behind the camera, how they express their opinions in different light. Basta anything that is influencer related, this is the podcast that you should listen to. It's ratedi.podcast. And she asked, sino-sino ang mga people that you look up to and why? Well, I'm going to answer it in a not so personal way. I have 3 people who I look up to internationally, globally, and right now, just at this moment. First is Jay Shetty. If you follow Jay Shetty, he is unbelievable. Sobrang daming wisdom, sobrang daming knowledge sa utak niya. And if I could just get a piece of his wisdom and knowledge, I'd be so fucking grateful. And partly, minomodel. Itong tatlong to, ito yung mga minomodel ko eh. And first is Jay Shetty on how he looks at things, how peaceful he looks at things. I totally admire how he practices his teachings. Kasi he was a monk before and yung mga natutunan niya as a monk. I am very fascinated by Buddhism. Bala ko nga dapat pupunta kami ng Thailand para maaral or maging connected sa Buddhism. And fortunately, hindi nangyari yun. Kaya medyo nagko-consume na lang ako ng mga content from Jay Shetty kasi he was a monk before and now he's making wisdom go viral through his YouTube and through his content. So, that's one person. The second person that I look up to is Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk is a businessman and the CEO of a lot of companies. Pero what I admire about him is he is an orthodox entrepreneur kasi he doesn't care about the money. He only looks at money as something that could help his company and the things na pinangahawakan niya. Pero he doesn't look at money as the main goal for entrepreneurs. He looks at his business as something that could provide value and happiness and could help a lot of people sa buhay nila. And that's probably why I like him so much kasi a lot of business people, they're getting addicted to money, and I don't think that's just sustainable. Akin lang. I mean, money is very important, pero I don't think that money should be your top priority sa buhay kasi we only live once. And if we tie ourselves sa money, we're gonna waste our lives. There are a lot of things that will provide us genuine happiness that are absolutely free. So, kaya yan. Follow. Anyways, those are the two people. Two people na lang kasi we're already in the 30-minute mark. So, I'll start ramping up the questions para may masagot ko naman kahit papano. Again, if you want to join me on the podcast, you can join me. Just request down here para naman meron akong kausap dito. Anyways, here is the next question. The next question came from Mabuhay Maxima. Again, another podcast from the Podcast PH. You should check them out. Sobrang daming podcast na gawa ng mga Pinoy na sobrang ganda. And if you're not listening to any of those podcasts, you're missing a lot. So I beg you to listen to Filipino-made podcasts. Okay, the next question came from Mabuhay Maxima. Her question is, when do you stop chasing your dreams? You don't. You never stop chasing your dreams. If you have a dream in your life, you make it your mission to make it happen. You make it your mission to achieve your dream, to make your dream come true. A lot of people think na masyadong ideal yan, na some people dream too high or anything like that. Pero once you understand that you only get one life, and having a dream that is worth fighting for will make your life a lot more interesting than you would imagine it. Having a dream in your life and being able to pursue it, that's what living means. So if you have a dream, you do not give up on it. Kahit anong mangyari, kahit ipakita sa'yo ng magulang mo, ng mga kaibigan mo, ng mundong to, na hindi mo na dapat habulin yun, that's exactly when you should continue to pursue it. Okay, because that's just the meaning of living in this world. If you have a dream, go get it. Never give up on it. Okay. Next is... What else? Sige, dito naman ako kumuha sa ating questions from the IG. Okay, let's see. Okay, this question came from @Alec Cuenca, one of my cousins. Hello, cousin. And she asked how to stay friends after a breakup. Well, there's no textbook on how you could stay friends, pero it all depends on your relationship after you broke up. A lot of people think na pag break na dapat wala na, right? But it totally depends on how you two perceive the relationship as it goes towards that next chapter. So, if okay kayo na maging friends, then so be it. If hindi, then so be it then. Wala tayong magagawa. If one person does not agree on how you need to both be friends, then you can't be friends. Kasi when kasi a relationship, dalawang tao yan eh. 'Di ba? Always, dalawang tao yan. And if ikaw, iniisip mo na you should be friends with him, okay lang, makipag-friends, ganyan-ganyan. Pero siya, ayaw niya. You should respect that. Kasi we all have different ways on how we could move on and cope with the struggles that we are experiencing. Probably yung breakup sa'yo, hindi ganun gaan, 'di ba? Mabigat talaga, hindi ka pa ready makipagkaibigan, and that's totally fine. That's totally understandable. If ikaw, ipag-break ka, then okay lang sa'yo makipag-friends, then that's totally understandable then. Pero we should not enforce anything on na dapat maging friends kayo afterwards. It's not about being bitter. It's about respecting the time frame on how you heal yourself or how the other person heals himself or herself. Yun yan. So, you can stay friends and there's no textbook in that. Depende yan sa inyo kung paano nyo pag-uusapan yan, kung paano magiging complexity ng inyong relationship. Pero, bahala kayo. Yun lang. Okay, next question. We can answer a few more. Si Ira, tinanong niya, kailan tayo mag-shoot, kuya? Ayan, sabi ni Ira, kailan tayo mag-shoot, kuya? Haha. Well, sana, uy, si pinsan ko. Love you, pinsan. Anyways, sabi ni Ira, kailan tayo mag-shoot, kuya? And then, formal bigla. Ako actually gusto ko na. Siguro pagkatapos itong ECQ, tapos wala pa tayo. Siyempre wala pa naman tayong ginagawa. Lalo na ako, hindi pa nag-start ata yung SEM ko noon. Shoot na tayo para magkaroon na ako ng bagong pictures. Kasi kailangan ko ng mga bagong pictures na ipapost dito sa IG. Pang-promote ng podcast and pang-promote ng mga kung ano-ano pang ginagawa ko sa buhay. Yeah, please, Ira, shoot na tayo. Para kasama rin si Lien para mag-photo walk kayo and ako yung gawin yung model. Diba? Okay. Next question. Oh, okay. I just received breaking news from Brother Kylo. The ECQ of Luzon is not extended until April 30, 2020. Oh, is extended. Sorry, is extended. So, it is now extended. So, totoo yung sinabi ni Duterte kagabi na he intends to extend it and right now, extended na ang ECQ. That means, wala namang masama na extend dahil it's for the welfare and the safety na rin ng ating mga kababayan. Pero, yeah, I think we just need to handle it the best way that we can by staying indoors and following the guidelines kasi, gustuin man natin o hindi, wala talaga tayong equipment para pang mass testing, humingi pa tayo ng tulong sa iba't ibang countries dito sa mundo. So, the best thing we need to do is to play our part, stay indoors, and yeah, alam ko kahit mahirap, alam ko marami sa inyo nababaliw na, marami sa inyo nahihirapan na sa pagstay sa inyong mga bahay. Pero this is totally necessary for the safety of you, your family, and your fellow Filipinos. So please, do your part, stay indoors, wash hands, stay safe. Okay. Let's see, what other questions do we have? We are already 35 minutes into the live session, into the recording session. So, I hope that may mga magagandang points na tayo pwedeng share dito. Okay, next. Is it true, coming from Colette Daos _ is it true na mas nagtatagal ang relationship if the guy loves the girl more? No. It just doesn't work that way. The only way that your relationship lasts is that you both work together as a couple, as partners, as you move forward with your relationships. So, the moment na may mas nagmamahal sa inyo, yun yung moment na alam mo kasi yung ibang tao sinasabi nila, ay mas mahal niya si ganto, ay mas mahal ni ganto si ganyan, 'di ba? Pero there are a lot of things that the other people cannot see, with regards to the relationship na dinaranas nung nasa relationship. There are a lot of factors na hindi nakikita ng mga tao. Kaya ang akala natin, pag nitingnan sila, ay mas mahal ni ganito, nung lalaki yung babae, ay mas mahal nung babae yung lalaki. And I don't think that's the way it works. I think that there are ways na nag-i-equal yung pagmamahal nila na hindi lang natin nakikita. So partly, if they are still in a relationship, that means nagbabalance out yung pagmamahalan nila sa isa't isa. And the moment na pag sila na mismo alam nila na mas mahal ko na to or mas may hindi nagmamahal, mas may less na nagmamahal, doon na magkaka-start magkagulo yun. Kasi once na nakikita mo na mas mahal ng lalaki yung babae, that just means merong imbalance na nangyayari. And yun yung struggle always sa relationship. Struggling to find the balance to be in a happy and successful relationship. So, balance lagi yan. So, regardless if you love the girl more, if you think you love the girl more, it won't matter if hindi kayang pantayan ng girl yon. So, that's not true na mas nagtatagal ang relationship if the guy loves the girl more. Ako, I think, one tip kung paano mas mapatagal ang relationship nyo. Let the girl handle the relationship. Kasi, I honestly believe na most of the men out there in this world are dumb. Not dumb, pero manhid when it comes to, people, especially their partners. Mas kaya kasing umintindi ng babae on how ang babae kasi mas tinitignan niya yung relationship on a larger scale. Ang lalaki tinitignan niya on what he sees in front. So, one tip para tumagal ang relationship nyo, let the girl handle the relationship. Kasi tayo mga lalaki, may mga bagay tayo na hindi talaga natin napapansin. Hindi natin alam kung bakit hindi napapansin. Hindi naman tayo bobo, hindi naman tayo tanga. Pero hindi lang natin siya nakikita. And, kaya ayun. Kaya dapat tayo, let the girl handle the relationship. If you're starting, if you're long term, let the girl handle the relationship. Trust me. Next question. Another one from Colette Daos. You love the person so much, but it's destroying you and your inner peace. Will you stay? You don't need to stay. Anything that is destroying you and your inner peace should be let go. Kasi right now, you may not see it. In the short term, baka kaya mong tiisin, baka kaya mong gawan ng paraan para mag-compromise. Pero in the long run, ikaw rin ang kawawa. Dahil the thing that you don't see about it is when someone is toxic, hindi naman yan automatically bibigyan ka ng 100 isang malaking bola ng toxicity eh. Bibigyan ka niya ng mga maliliit na holen ng toxicity. But eventually, magpapatong-patong yung mga holen na yon, magulat ka ng sobrang daming toxicity na ang nakuha mo from that person. So, regardless if you love the person so much, if it destroys you and your inner peace, that means there is something about that person that makes him or her toxic, and you need to work on that first. Kasi if you want to have a healthy relationship and a relationship that can last for years, kailangan ayusin muna yung sarili. Ayusin niya muna yung sarili niya. So, if he or she destroys you and your inner peace, that means merong problema sa'yo, sa sarili mo, or siya sa sarili niya. And that's what you need to both work on. And if you can't find a way to mutually work on those yung mga pagkukulang, yung mga struggle sa sarili niya, then I think you shouldn't stay. Right? Sometimes distance is the best answer to the question. Kasi hindi mo makikita yung sagot kung unang-una iniisip mo, alam mo na lahat about the person, alam mo na kung paano the person operates. So, sometimes having the distance, having the courage to step back and look at how your relationship operates from another perspective, sometimes that can give you the answers that you're looking for. So, regardless if you love him or her, if you think that it destroys you, take a step back. Okay. I hope I answered your question. Okay. Again, for those people who are joining me, sayang. We're almost done with the live session and the question and answer portion. Again, I really appreciate that you guys are here with me today, joining me as we try to make this quarantine a little more interesting than it should be. And again, sabi nga na this quarantine season is extended, pero we will do our best para to make this quarantine season more meaningful, diba? And I really appreciate na you guys are clicking here and watching the video or the live stream right now. And I hope that you're safe. I hope that you have enough food, medicine, and other resources to get through this crazy time. Ako, alam ko pa ulit-ulit ko na sinasabi, but I really hope that you do, that you are safe. You and your families are safe. With that being said, I think I am going to end the episode right here. I hope I gave you some amazing answers or some insightful answers at least para naman meron kayong mga bagay na natutunan this morning. I know it's a very short episode, but I am really glad that it worked out this way. This is my first time doing an AMA or a live session on Instagram, and I really enjoyed it. Medyo kinabahan lang ako nung una, medyo choppy nung una, but I really appreciate having you guys na nakita ko na sinusuportahan nyo talaga yung mga ginagawa ko dito sa podcast na to. Anyways, if you want to hear this episode again, I've recorded it. I'll upload it maybe later. And yeah, again, thank you so much for listening throughout the IG live. I can see some people have already went out, but I really hope that I provided some value with you this morning. And thank you. Yun ang masasabi ko. Maraming salamat. I'm really grateful for each and every one of you. I hope you're safe. Mag-ingat kayo. Stay indoors. Stay safe. Wash your hands. And have a great day. Peace. Bye-bye.